Hello and welcome to the Make Someone Welcome podcast by Wiltshire Centre for Independent Living. My name is Mary.
And I'm Matt.
And over the next 5 podcast episodes, we are going to be going on a bit of a journey to look at inclusive communities and how we can make our communities more inclusive for disabled people, but also for everybody. But to kick off these podcast episodes, firstly, let's introduce ourselves so you know who you're listening to at the other end of this. So, Matt, do you want to kind of tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm a power chair user, as you can see, but there's more to me than just that. I was born with cerebral palsy, but I live life to the full, and I love life. I love my gigs, I love football, I'm a granddad, I'm a Weller Pops, I'm married and I live in Wiltshire.
And you're an Ipswich Town supporter.
Oh yeah, but I don't like to mention that every now and then because we're doing rubbish.
And they're doing rubbish and shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Although we did beat Chelsea. So.
You'll take that.
Yeah.
So yeah, my name's Mary. I am also a disabled person, but my experiences as a disabled person are very different to Matt. So I kind of acquired my disability when I was about 18. So I kind of grew up non-disabled and then have grown up as an adult disabled, which has given me kind of a little bit of a perspective of both sides of stuff. Yeah. Matt and I kind of met through work, and we worked for a disability organisation together. We've been doing training like this for quite a number of years. Yeah. We've taught each other a lot throughout this whole process, and neither one of us claim to be experts in any of this. We are simply learning as we go and kind of sharing our own reflections, thoughts and experiences as we go as well. So that's just kind of a little bit of an introduction to who we are. And during this podcast series, we're going to be looking at this through the power ofs, as I'm calling them. Yeah. So today we're going to be looking at the power of perception and how our perceptions can have a really big impact on creating inclusive communities. Yeah. So to kick us off, I want you to think of the first 3 words that come to your head when you think of the word disabled. Alright, Matt?
Yeah.
What 3 words come to your head? Go on. Quick fire.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Unique.
Yeah.
Individual.
Okay. First 3 words that come to my head, if I'm honest, is probably wheelchair, crutches, and I was going to say disabled, but I can't say that comes to my head.
So that just proves, doesn't it, that because I didn't mention my chair. Yeah. Because I've mentioned it all my life. Yeah. So, and it's only the past 10, 20 years I've started to see me as a person. Yeah. Me as a person. Yeah. And be confident with being disabled. I'm proud to be of a disability.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, when we're talking about these communities, a really good place to start is at the very start, which is what does disabled mean? What is our understanding of disabled and how does that impact stuff? So if you kind of look up you could get a dictionary definition of disabled, but actually I don't think that hits the mark at all. Because there's a lot of kind of debate around what disability means. And if you looked it up online, you'd come across a whole range of different models, as they're called. So different ways that people describe it. And there are literally loads out there, to name a few. You've got the identity model, the social model, the moral model, the medical model, the professional model, the charity model. We could keep going. But Matt and I are just going to focus on 2 of the most well-known ones, which is the medical model and the social model. And these are both ways in which disability can be explained. So do you want to quickly break down the medical model for us, Matt?
So the medical model would be the way health professionals, doctors, nurses, GPs, consultants see me, whereby my cerebral palsy is the issue.
Yeah.
Whereby I need medical care, I need physiotherapy, I need special equipment, I need care, I need a wheelchair, I need to get around, and it's my spasticity that is the problem, the issue.
Yeah. So, you know, if they were kind of looking at you, it's that emphasis around how all those services can help you, what, you know, other people can do. As you said,
exactly.
it says that your cerebral palsy is the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're looking at a situation where, I don't know, we had a building up a flight of stairs, they would say, you know, the reason you can't get into that building is because of your cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy, yeah.
And then there's the social model, which kind of flips this on its head.
Yeah. And this is what I would say every disabled community lives by. Do you know what I mean? Whereby it's actually society that is the issue. It's not our disabilities. It's we're unable to access buildings, we're unable to get onto trains or use transport properly, we're unable to participate in college or going to uni because buildings aren't accessible. Care packages are difficult to put in place and stuff like that. So we are grounded, both Mary and myself are grounded in the social model, which says that society's the problem, not our disability.
Yeah, so again, if we were looking at that example of you trying to get into a building that has a flight of stairs, it would say, you know, the reason you're unable to access it is because there isn't an accessible entrance.
Yeah.
So the barrier is the society, the barrier is the lack of access rather than put on you as a person.
Yeah.
And the social model looks a lot more, like you said, the strengths that people have, the things that they can do, and says that it is our communities that need to change to be inclusive, rather than every disabled person needs to be cured or healed.
Yeah, for example, I'm Matt. I live independently. I live in a bungalow. I have support to help me achieve my goals. I have a job. I go to gigs. I live my life. Do you know what I mean? So they are my strength. And some people would say I'm loudmouth as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So, yeah, that's a fair shout, Mary.
And so these are the kind of two main models that we're looking at. And I think we would both say that, you know, although the social model is the one that we prefer and that we kind of look towards, you know, it isn't perfect.
No.
You know, it can't perfectly describe every disabled experience.
No.
But what it does is really helps us to define what disabled means. And more importantly, it helps us to explain why the word disabled in itself is not a bad word.
No.
I think it's a word that often people kind of shy away from a little bit. People say, you know, oh, I don't want to describe someone as disabled. But actually what you're saying there is not that there's anything wrong with them as a person. It's not an insult to them. It's just saying that the world around us is not fully accessible to them. It's not made for them. That there are these barriers that are coming in from society and from our environment that make it harder for them to be able to do stuff. But you are not insulting on that person. And actually I think for me, when people refuse to use the word disabled, like for example, some people some people preferred for a time words like differently abled, because you're saying, and I get the argument behind it, was it saying, you know, you are able to do stuff just differently. But actually I'm like, don't take away from disabled. That I am disabled by the environment. This environment around me is disabling. That doesn't mean that I can't do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It just means the world isn't set up for me.
And also, what I've noticed just recently, and I've only just picked up on it really recently, a lot of us are saying now, or a lot of people are saying, lived experience. Oh, I have lived experience. Now, that, I get it, that's totally fine, because we do have a lot of lived experience. But, and maybe this is just a personal feeling, I think we're dropping the word, I have a disability.
Yeah.
I am disabled. Now, I'm pointing out the obvious because people can see my disability.
Yeah.
But the word disability, disabled, doesn't bother me. It's part of my life.
Yeah.
It's made me who I am to a certain extent. But it doesn't define who I am. But it has contributed to my experiences of life. And I think, yeah, like I said, it's only just recently that I've started picking up the word, the buzzword of the moment is lived experience.
Yeah. As you said, like, that in itself, it does have a place.
Yeah.
It is a description.
Yeah.
But it's when it gets used in place of disability.
Yeah.
It's not shying away from using the word disabled.
I mean, what do you guys think out there? You might have a totally different concept, or you might think totally different to me or Mary.
And yeah, language is something that we're going to kind of revisit a few times over these episodes, because it's not something we can just discuss in one frame, and actually it deserves to be looked at in different angles. Yeah. But the kind of real takeaway from this is less so the language that we're using and more what that perception of disability is to you. Do you have an intrinsically negative perception of disabled? When you think of disabled, are you thinking negative things? In which case, just start challenging that in yourself as you listen to the rest of these episodes. That's kind of where we wanted to kind of introduce this series.
Yeah.
We wanted to pick up on what disability means. And in the next episode, we're going to be talking a bit about the perception of reality and digging into what is it like for disabled people nowadays.
Yeah.
The good, the bad and the ugly.
Yeah.
We're going to be discussing all them.
So, guys, we hope you enjoyed today, and we hope you come back for more, because we got a lot to say, believe me. So, from myself and Mary, cheerio.